Hey there everyone, happy Monday. I am King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon. A lot of sunshine today, some clouds early this morning, but also a warm up today. And that's something that we're going to notice here over the next couple of days, things continuing to warm up. So we're going to go over that. It's not going to be anything extreme. We're going to keep temperatures in check. And at the same time too, we're going to start to see that some of these showers and storms that were over the mountains, those are going to fade away, and we could even see and notice maybe a little bit of that wildfire smoke haze coming across our skies here over the next day or so. So let's get into it. First, I wanted to show you what's been happening here over the past couple of weeks, and we had a long stretch of temperatures in the 70s or above. And well, yesterday that came to an end. So it's been about a couple of weeks since we've made it only into the 60s for highs. But yesterday, Sunday, we did it at 65 degrees. Almost did it back on Friday and Saturday as we topped off only at 70 degrees there. And well, today you can see a bit of a different story as highs made their way into the mid and upper 70s around Puget Sound, lower 70s closer to Shelton, lower 60s out towards the coast. Bellingham, we came in at 71 degrees for our high for today. All right, so this is what we're keeping an eye on for here as we head on into the evening. Some showers, some possible storms too could be around, but a lot of those will fade here as we head into the evening and throughout the overnight hours. Why? Well, because we're going to lose a lot of that energy that we have during the daytime hours to help to create some of those storms. That will fade away. And then we'll head into the day tomorrow. Looks like we are going to be noticing some highs back around the 80-degree mark, especially as we head into the day on Wednesday. That's when we see that peak heating ahead for us. Again, instead of mid-90s, we're talking only mid-80s this go around, so a much better story for us. And then we'll head on into this upcoming weekend, and then we're going to cool things down a little bit, get temperatures back near those seasonal averages, and see more of the sunshine on the way. All right, let's go ahead and talk about what is ahead here over the next 7-day stretch. For tomorrow, up to 82 degrees, 84 heading into the day on Wednesday. Again, some of those clouds could be in place during the morning hours. Then we'll see more sunshine during the afternoon, kind of like today, and it looks like we're going to keep that pattern all the way through the rest of the work week, and then we'll head into the weekend and generally just see sunny skies, lows during the overnight cooling down comfortably into the 50s. Here's a look out there at our Hansville site. You can see this is from our skunkbayweather.com camera, and you can see that things are looking pretty nice out there here as we head on into our Monday evening. Westport, things a bit more cloudy and gray and gloomy out that way. That's why we did keep things a bit cooler there, and across the north coast as well. As you can see, nothing but that thick cloud coverage that's in place. SchoolNet site there in Granite Falls, a little more sunshine, but also a lot of clouds too. Then a bit of a different story this way around Everett, looking at Payne Field. All right, so as we head into the night, expect those clouds to return. We'll drop down into the 50s, and we'll start to warm back up again after we lose those clouds heading into the day for tomorrow. Again, this is a warming trend that we're going to see here for the first couple of days of the work week. So we're up by about 12 degrees here for Tacoma and Seattle in comparison to 24 hours ago. And this is as of about 6 to 7 o'clock here into your Monday evening. Out towards the coast, some cooler conditions. That's because of extra clouds. That's why we have some of the 50s out there, and that's why areas farther to the east are still holding on pretty nicely into the 70s. So it should be a pretty nice evening if you're going to be out and about at any point. So here's radar. Did mention that we do have the showers and storms out there. Check out what's happening. We have that spin showing up here across more areas of Washington State, even British Columbia. Now that has pivoted its way farther south. It started to shift more across areas here in Washington State, and that's where we're seeing some heavier downpours with that. A lot of lightning strikes too, and the only concern with that is that if we don't have much rain to go along with some of those storms, that could potentially start up a fire in some of those locations. So we're hoping we're getting a decent amount of rain to go along with those lightning strikes, but either way, that is producing a flooding concern across the region. Let me go ahead and pan up, and you can see where those areas farther north where we were seeing a bit more of that rain still are seeing that across southern parts of BC and over into Alberta. Big picture for us, though, is we're going to keep an eye out for the flooding concerns of this way across the northeastern slopes of the Cascades, where we have a flood watch remaining in effect until 9 p.m. here into the evening. Those areas closer to streams, rivers, creeks, any body of water, you're going to want to be mindful of maybe some of these possible heavy downpours creating some fast moving and runoff from some of the higher terrain. So looking at Futurecast, you can see that begins to die on off here over the next few hours. By about 9 to 10 o'clock, just by the end of our flood watch, we start to see a lot of that moving on out of here and beginning to die on off. We'll head on into the day for tomorrow and check it out. We're seeing a lot more of those skies starting off cloudy in the morning. That's 9 o'clock for you. And then we'll see things start to clear on out by the afternoon hours with some of that shower and storm activity still across eastern Washington, but it is beginning to shift farther east across the state and heading closer to Idaho. We'll continue on into tomorrow night, clear skies initially, and then here we go on into early Wednesday morning. There are those clouds coming right back yet again. You can see those beginning to pop up right here, right around the mountains too. So right around the Olympics, you can see that goes from areas across southwest interior, here across the Kitsap Peninsula, Puget Sound, all the way up towards the North Sound too. Maybe not quite as much as you get up around areas such as northwest interior, but even then, I think we could see a few clouds to start off the day on Wednesday, but since it is expected to be a hotter day, I think it burns off a bit earlier, and we head into the afternoon and we start to see that sunshine really do its job on into the afternoon hours. And continuing on, really, as we head on into Thursday, here we go. We start to get a little more of that onshore push, and things do start to cool down slightly on Thursday. We'll see more of a cool down heading into Friday and for the upcoming weekend. Now, additional rain amounts will generally stay across the eastern side of the state. Nothing really showing up as far as our rain gauges are concerned, but would it be surprised if things do try to sneak down into the lowlands across Whatcom, maybe Skagit counties? We could see a very small chance of a shower or maybe a storm here late into the night, but do expect large in part a lot of that to stay farther east across the state. So the forecast here as we head over the next couple of days, I did mention that there could be some upper level smoke here into our region. Maybe some of that trying to sneak its way into the lower levels, but most of it is going to be across the higher parts of the atmosphere. And that moves in as we head late into the night and into the day on Tuesday. Check it out right there. You can see some of those darker blues beginning to pop up here across western Washington, even some of those greens. Now, shouldn't be a huge impact when it comes to air quality for us, but it is definitely going to provide and produce more of that hazy look to the sky for Tuesday. There we are heading into Wednesday by 5 o'clock in the morning. Most of the thickness of that smoke beginning to head farther off to the south and to the east, but we're still going to keep an eye out for things for you as we head on into that point. And as far as what we're seeing additionally, as far as cloud coverage, well, we'll get some of that around for the next few mornings, especially as we head on into Friday morning as we get a weaker disturbance that's going to push off to our north. Higher terrain again could see a little bit of a higher chance of getting a quick little shower out of that disturbance, but most of it's going to stay well north of us across BC and Alberta heading into Canada. And we start to clear out quite again heading into Saturday somewhat, but definitely more so into Sunday with plenty of sunshine and just more and more of this summer-like weather to come here as we head over the foreseeable future. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at how things are going to be shaping up for us temperature-wise, because we do expect those numbers to peak out on Wednesday at 84 degrees. Now, the normal high is at 79, so that's only 5 degrees off where we should normally be. We do fall back down, mid-70s ahead for us heading into Friday, and we'll be more so into the 70s all the way through Sunday, and then get back up into the low 80s by next Monday. So the extreme heat staying away for right now. Here's your forecast tonight. We'll drop down between those low to mid 50s, a little more of that wildfire haze in the sky tomorrow, but plenty of sunshine too, especially by the afternoon as temperatures top off in the mid 70s here in Blaine, Orcas Island getting up to 70 degrees. Oak Harbor a bit cooler there at 65, 79 in Marysville, getting up into the low 80s around Monroe. Issaquah at 81, we'll top off at 82 in Auburn. Bremerton hitting 81 degrees, a high of 83 around Puyallup. Tenino reaching 80 degrees. Highs right around 80 for Centralia, Castle Rock down towards Longview, 60s out towards the coast, and seeing more of that as you head farther north too, with maybe a few upper 50s around like in Tahola as we top off at 59 degrees. Your forecast here over the next 7-day stretch, expect to see plenty of sunshine and more of this summer-like weather with highs staying right around the 80-degree mark, maybe just getting a bit higher heading into Wednesday. That's our one hot day, if you want to call it that, into Wednesday before things do cool back down, and we'll keep those overnights really comfortable as they fall down into the 50s. Okay, everyone, well, it looks like a nice stretch of weather for us, so if you can, try to get out there and enjoy it here over the next few days and enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. We'll talk to you later, coming up tomorrow.